Alright, timestamp. It is October 30th, 2025. Right about 10 p.m. Um, I've been kind of up and down doing like 12 hours of work, 3-hour naps kind of stuff. Dragging packages in. We're making progress. I'll show you here in a minute. But it's funny. Sometimes I'm sitting at the bar, I'll watch a video, and I'm doing some like little paperwork, something like that. And I'll stand up, and both the Mutleys like immediately like. Sometimes the Chihuahua will even like run to the door, like, yeah, 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 we're gonna do it, yeah, 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 yeah. So even though Tiny took them out an hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours, um, we're gonna humor him, you know. So, hi, how you doing? Bad guy. And that guy. Let's go. Come on. Door doesn't exactly want to like latch if it just gently pushes closed. Got a giant pot here that I bought that I want to be able to use for gardening purposes. I'm going to put it out here. We keep putting stuff on the lanai that needs to go various places. Okay, Tiny, grab the sandpaper. Cool. Had a plastic tub full of about 16 different types of sandpaper. I mean, it was like, I don't know, small fish aquarium size. Some sandpaper that I bought, some sandpaper that we found lying around here. Just kind of been collecting it. And with all the projects we've got, or that I at least have, slated for, okay, there we go. And he sticks the landing. With all the projects I've got in my own head, plus the fact that I like to do crafty stuff as a hobby. And I feel like I'm getting close to where I'm going to be able to start doing that a little bit, which intoxicates and delights me like wine. To quote my favorite musical. I wanted to make sure it went out to the workshop so it wasn't underfoot, because one more tote in the way doesn't exactly help anything. But I didn't want it to get buried under all the different debris and stuff that we were dragging out there. Hey, no. Drop it. You do not need to be chewing on wood, sir. Tiny was out here chopping up some of the logs. Some of the... I don't even know if it's stuff that my dad trimmed from a tree to trim it from a tree if he was preparing firewood for their non-existent fireplace. I don't even know. I don't know what my dad had in mind. But you may have seen in some other videos, there were like... Oh, I touched you. There were huge logs kind of barricading the back gate. Maybe he did it as some kind of a medieval deterrent to stop the hordes of imaginary people from coming into the backyard. I don't know. Now, I've been asked more than a few times over the past even 3 years, what was your dad thinking when he did that? Sometimes I can feel that one, and other times I cannot. I don't know. Because, I mean, my mom, when she was more mobile, one of her favorite things to do, which I gotta tell you, from a retirement standpoint, I don't want to ever get to this point. One of her favorite things to do was to go sit on the dock and feed the ducks, like bread and stuff. I don't want that to be one of my retirement hobbies. I love my mom, don't get me wrong. I want something a little bit, less, a little less old woman in Central Park kind of retirement stuff. Doing crafty stuff, playing pinball, something a little bit more than that. I don't know. Anyway, the huge wood pile was kind of blocking the gate. Like, you're not opening the gate, kind of blocking it. Which I never really understood that. From the moment we got here in May, it was kind of like, okay, and you could tell it had been there for a while. It had dug into the mud a little bit. If Mom likes to go out onto the dock, why are you basically preventing her from doing that? Because she's not moving 40 long branches and logs to go to the dock. That ain't happening. I just didn't understand, still don't, obviously, why my dad stacked them there. Didn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. It's past and present tense. But Tiny wanted to chop them down because some of them were like 8 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet long. So, you done trying to eat branches? Yeah. Like high 50s, low 60s outside. Nice. My girl would need a sweater for that, but pretty okay with it. Alright, I'm gonna put there because that's more of a chewy kind of thing. What are we gonna do? What are you? More of the same. Okay. You need to rack that up in your little chewy bucket. Let's find something fun while Tanner's not looking, so to speak, because I don't want him to feel bad because he can't handle chewy stuff. Try and throw that on the ground is what I'm going to try and do. Yeah, would AI do that? No, not AI. This is not working. Alright. Put you on the washer while I open the package that will not be opened. Good anti-theft packaging, I love it. Sorry, Scrap, you used about 8 pounds of glue on the seal. My God. Somebody hand me a sawzall. There we go. Alright. That was way more of a pain in the butt than it needed to be. I'll give you one of these bare-boned chicken wraps, which you seem to like. It's an interesting looking thing, right? It's like a rawhide, but with like some kind of dried jerky meat thing around it. He likes them. Yeah, you enjoy this crap. Yeah, I don't want to give you one of those in front of Tanner, because if he wants one, it's going to hurt him if he tries to eat it. I'll give him a little piece of jerky or something when he eventually gets back to the door. When is that? I don't know. Eating some dirt currently. So I've gotten in a couple of packages. I already opened them. I did it without you, I'm sorry. But I don't want to bog my channel down with nothing but 54-year-old guy opens mail. It's not really the purpose of my channel exactly. Now, what is the purpose of my channel? I don't know, I'm pretty purposeless. Just a life journey kind of thing. Health-wise, health check, I feel pretty good. You know, occasionally having little bouts of, it's not even really shallow breathing, it's like the urge to breathe shallow. I don't know, it's weird. Because I can draw a breath, but every now and then I almost get the urge to not breathe deeply. Not quite panting like a dog or anything, but I don't know, hard to explain. Ah. The second I do this, Tanner's going to appear at the back door. That's why I do it, actually. Positioning the card adjustment always makes me look like I'm a B cup, and I'm really not. I am a, barrel-chested guy for the most part. 5'7", 180, so I'm kind of... I've joked before, and I love his performance, don't get me wrong, but from a comic book accuracy standpoint, I'm built more like Wolverine than Hugh Jackman is. Wolverine in the comics is either 5'4" or 5'6", depending on the writer/artist that you want to ask. His height is varied a little bit, but he's not 6 foot. But I know cinematically they were looking at that not being as cool, which, thanks for one thing. But I get it. Like, you see him in like lineups in the comic books with like the other X-Men and whatnot, and he's several inches shorter than Cyclops, and plus he hunches, so it makes him look even shorter. He's taller than Puck from Alpha Flight, but that's not. It's a low bar. Yeah. One thing I did get in, and I had somebody else. I got people like DMing me and stuff, which, hey, feel free to comment, like, and all that kind of stuff too. But I did get in an A-Wing, which seems to be in pretty good shape, but I'm not sure about the front landing gear part. And it's funny because I got into a discussion. I had this sitting out. I just opened it, and Tiny was like, I know that ship because Tiny plays a lot of the different like Star Wars, like Battlefronts, stuff like that, and is no stranger. Big fan of Clone Wars and Rebels, actually. Loves the animated. And of course, the entire family gathers around for Mandalorian. We love it. And the other stuff too, but Mandalorian was like a big hit in this house. That and Book of Fett. But yeah, no, Tiny was asking me, what is that? When did it come out? I'm like, honestly, the first time that, your mom and dad saw this would have been back when Return of the Jedi came out. Because up until that point, because remember, talking, 1983, we had A New Hope, We had Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi came out. And up until that point, we'd pretty much just seen X-Wings and Y-Wings. You know, we saw them in the original New Hope, but Return of the Jedi came out, and suddenly we had A-Wings and B-Wings, which I still haven't gotten the hang of the design on the B-Wings. It's kind of odd to me. But I don't know. It looks like that... I hear you, Tanner. So that definitely is a lever that's supposed to activate the landing gear, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to snap all the way up. It looks like it should, but then also if you just kind of set it down naturally, that actually holds it in place better because of the back fins. So I'm really confused, because it does actually have back landing gear as well. But recently, like as in earlier today, got that. I'm gonna go let a Chihuahua in before he has a tiny aneurysm. Oh, hey! You eat enough mud? You good? Yeah? You good? I agree. I don't know why. I do not understand. He goes straight to where the swing set is, starts digging it up, get some of that nice wet earth. Got to go down a couple inches, and then that's the good eating. Scrappy, you already had yours, didn't you? Scrappy, we've had this talk. Wait, Scrappy, go. Tanner, there you go. Something to wash down the mud. Does the body good. Very confused by all of that. Now, I'm personally not necessarily a huge fan of the 8-Wings, to be clear, but I'm looking for smaller, cool-looking ships for 4-inch figures, leaning Star Wars because of the troopers and stuff that I have. Okay. Tiny was grabbing a shower and going to bed. I want to make sure I didn't put the child on camera because respect requests, you know. But one of the things, and I mentioned this before, that I've been getting, because I've been getting them for like $20, $25, and I think they look pretty cool. And they are a Star Wars ship, but they're not necessarily a well-known Star Wars ship, because I think maybe in one of the animateds or something, I think it came out like in the Power of the Force days, so it might even be like an expanded universe, never really in a movie or whatnot. But I think they look pretty cool. Now, at first glance, when I saw these on eBay, because I hadn't seen them before, Scrappy, leave it alone, please. Thank you. Yeah, the life you save might be your own. My first thought was, okay, what did they do to that snowspeeder? Because I'm a huge fan of The Empire Strikes Back, and when you look at that design, that is very nearly a snowspeeder. But this apparently is called an airspeeder. And it has a feature button on the back that actually makes those wings do that, which gives it, in my opinion, an even different look. You know, more different look than a snowspeeder. But yeah, I don't know. I've been able to pick these up. I've got like 7 of them now on eBay for like $25. You know, snowspeeder's a little bit longer. It has a co-pilot / gunner in the back who never seemed to make it out alive. It's not a job that I would volunteer for. But for the most part some of them haven't had that I've gotten. It's like a missile thingy that attaches there. It looks like there's a button there to fire it. It's not typically something I do anyway, but I've gotten some incomplete ones that didn't have that. And it does come with a pilot when you get them in box, which I have not as yet done. I've gotten a couple that actually had the pilot with it. I think I've got like 2 or 3 of the pilots out of like 7 ships, so it's okay. Honestly, the pilot figure for these is kind of lackluster in my opinion, but I'm trying to get smaller ships for... So I would like to do more expansive dioramas in the future, but not necessarily the kind that take an entire, wall to do. So kind of trying to stick with smaller ships. I do eventually want to get some of the original Y-Wings. They've got like 3 or 4 different ones out, but the Y-Wings by comparison are much larger. But yeah, with Return of the Jedi, we got the A-Wings and the B-Wings, and all us 12 and 13-year-olds went, ooh. I still like the Y-Wings best, but a Y-Wing is going to be hella bigger than that from a diorama standpoint. I just want a couple of Y-Wings because Pop just wants a couple of Y-Wings. That's just how that is. But yeah, I think I actually do have one more A-Wing on the way. I paid $30 or $35 for it. I'm just gonna grab a couple of those. I don't need the airspeeders. I'm continually watching for, because I wouldn't mind having like 10 of those. The idea being, if I wanted to do a diorama of like a hangar bay or something like that, I could very easily have the ships kind of stacked. Not like stacked, but never mind. You probably get me. So trying to get the room squared away here, and we're not doing a huge shindig or anything tomorrow. Looks worse than it is, because those 2 chairs and that wood cart, I've got to set the printer up yet. Still waiting for the paper to get here. It's supposed to be here tomorrow or the next day. Because then I got to start going through all the paperwork, receipts, and trying to figure out what I need copies of, what I need to file, send to the lawyer, all that stuff. But yeah, the rest of this little bits of surface debris should be out of here very, soon, like in the next 8 hours. I've already, and again, I don't even know if you can tell. I can tell. I know what I've gotten done. And then I'm banker boxing the ridiculous shite in the garage so that I can stack the pink totes and the purple latch tops out there. And any reserve food, like for pantry and whatnot, that I order, I can pop out on the shelves out there. Because right now it's just stacks of stuff. Just stacks of stuff. And it's ridiculous stuff, but that's what we've come to expect here, Just trying to cut through the rubble and the debris. Some more of the Dunkin' Donuts vanilla. Did a couple pots of other things in between, but working my way back to you, babe. I did get in a couple Looney Tunes mugs, which I gotta wash still. Made me sad though. The bright side, the bad side. I got in 2 of this, and one of it, the box wasn't really packed all that well. The mugs were packed pretty well, but the box itself, you don't want to do it over tight, but you do want to do it snug enough to where they can't necessarily move around in the box, and that was not the case. So the other one came in and the handle was snapped, and it's got a crack over here where it probably took an impact and was able to move inside the box. Despite the padding, it's still, porcelain ceramic. It will break. If I throw this on the ground right now, it will break. But it's got bubble wrap. But I messaged the guy, I'm like, one of them did not make it. And he gave me a partial refund, and I'm totally, that's the correct, proper resolution for it. Sent pictures just to, in case the lords of eBay want to go, are you scamming him? And I did have, this a couple of years ago, I got in the practice of sending pictures every time because of this. It was like 2 years ago. I don't remember what it was that I ordered, but it came in broken, and I sent the seller a message saying, "Hey, got the package. However," and I didn't send pictures, and the guy, I think it was a dude, ripped into me about trying to scam him, and I'm like, okay, clearly you've been hurt before. And then eBay stepped in the middle and was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Send pictures to verify whether or not it was broken, and then we'll put on our black and white striped shirt, get the whistle, and we'll figure this out. So I did, and I got a refund and an apology from eBay. The seller had no apologies for me. That's okay, whatever. Again, someone hurt you. Show me on the package where the bad man touched you. So, yeah. No, that kind of got me in the habit. It was very much, oh wow, you people exist. I just send a picture now along with my, hey. So, no big deal. I mean, I typically look back on that kind of stuff and giggle. Mm-hmm. So good. Love that Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Oh, one other thing that I did get in. I've gotten in some uranium or Vaseline glass, like starfish, some aquatic stuff. So I want to be able to use them as centerpieces for like table settings and stuff like that. And very domestic. It's true. Now, one of the things about Vaseline glass or uranium glass is under a black light, it kind of glows a different color, which is cool. I haven't tested this one yet because I still need to find. I've got a black light around here somewhere and I can't find the damn thing. This I spent about $50 for. If you know me, I'm very big on wolves. I'm very big on owls, but I'm also very big on frogs. I paid like $50 for this. Uranium, Vaseline glass, all that whatnot. If it's authentic, if it's real, it can cost a couple bucks. I've seen some go for a lot more than $50. But I got this in, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. In the listing, they showed it hitting with a black light, and it turned like a bright, eerie green, which I think is spectacular. I'm looking forward to finding my black light. I've got a couple somewhere. They may not even be here. They may still be at George Station. I'm not sure. But when we get everything kind of the way we want it, look at that face. Look at that face. They're so pretty. When we do get set up, there's some black metal cabinet shelves that I want to get. They're very cool. I've seen them on Amazon. They look really good. But they're kind of a black metal cabinet with windows in the doors. You can get light kits for them. And a lot of people will do like LED strips and whatnot so you can light the different display shelves. I may get the LED lights is really, really, really cool. But I may also get like a black light strip for one of the shelves. You can see where I'm going with this. And just put out some of the various uranium glasses that I picked up. Because I have like 3 starfish, I think, at this point, and a couple of other ones. And I'm not going to get into glass or flatware collection to the extent that my mom did. Dear God in heaven. We have so many plates and mugs and serving stuff. It is just unbelievable. I've got, exactly, you've seen those pink totes that I have that are, you know, you have to carry in front of you like that. I've got at least 15 that are nothing but plates, bowls, teacups. And some of them are fine china. Some of them are like, you know, this teacup is worth $20 because it's, you know, from a fine china creator from 60 years ago. I've got some antique stuff that's actually really pricey. And then I've got like stuff from hotels. There's one tote in the alcove that's nothing but like hotel ballroom plates and bowls and things like that. Now, I don't think my mom went to the hotels and like put them in her bag. I have seen people that have done that before, and they need help. Show us on the package where. But I know my mom was probably buying them up at auctions and things of that nature because they spent. I've been finding receipts from 2010, 2009, 2008 where they were going to auctions and buying pallets of stuff. So they were doing auctions and or large buys before they even got this place. I thought it just started when they got here because the auction house was actually pretty close to where this is. So I thought they went, oh, an auction house, great, we'll start going there. They were going there long before they got here, and I didn't even know that. So they jumped in with both feet. Yeah, I think they bought, I found receipts from 2008, 2009, 2010 Burn Barrel, because I don't need this. And I'm not gonna, we found a couple stacks of, like, not really manifest, but like directories, like lists of the stuff that they had bought at auctions. I scrolled through it just to see if there was anything that made me go, oh crap, that's a, you know, $30,000 collectible. Nothing like that. It was all like, you know, 10 vacuum cleaners, various condition, 6 lawnmowers, various condition, 8 boxes of plates. You know, it was all very, I'm not going to give you details, you know, and they're paying $10, $20, $100. I don't need to keep that paperwork. And Tiny was even like, well, I mean, you know, do we want to keep that? Because we're trying to catalog and figure out what's here. And I'm like, I don't want to page through 800 pages going, okay, you have a plate with the letter H on it. Okay, let me see if I can find it. I'm not going to page through 800 pages to isolate the purchase of that plate. Does that make sense? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my phone, I'm going to take that plate with the letter H on it, and this is a real thing. I don't know if it's a Hilton or not, but some of the plates out there have like an H on it. And it could be like a family monogram or something like that. I don't know. I am going to hit it with Google Lens and go, this is what it is. That manifest does nothing for me. Trying to cross-reference stack of pages, and this is just the one that we found. There's probably more, because why wouldn't there be? 4 inches, maybe 5 inches stack of paper. You know how thick or thin a piece of paper is, right? Never met a piece of paper you didn't want to keep. Mm-hmm. There's truth to that. So yeah, you're gonna look great in the burn barrel. Just why? But yeah, I did kind of breeze through it just to see if there was some kind of like pearl of wisdom or gem of information. No nuggets. Just generic, I bought something. I bought 20 pounds of power tools. Yeah. They're tools and they run on electricity. Yeah. That's why they're called power tool, I think. I think that's how that works. That little stringy thing with the 2 metal things sticking out of it, yeah, you put that in a wall. There's holes in a wall, and you can match it up with that. And then the machine goes, Rrr. Got too many voices in my head. They won't stop. Tried bleach and everything, it won't stop. I just keep talking all the time. In this ear, in that ear. Anyway. If any AI bots are watching my video, they're probably going, I can't do that. This guy's... If he'd only show us on the package where they touched him. Anyway, I'm going to get back to work. I enjoyed our time together. But yeah, I got a frog. I got a Looney Tunes mug. I got two, actually, but the bright side, this was the good side. I don't even know if I mentioned that. I probably didn't. The voices get in the way. I'm sorry. They were the same mug. When I bought the listing, they had one turned one way and one turned the other way in the picture. Because they only had the one picture, and they said, you know, flawless, no cracks, all that. The one picture I saw, I think Taz, and the other picture I saw Sylvester. And when I pulled it out, the broken one, what I saw first was Sylvester. So I thought that I had a broken Sylvester mug and a Taz that survived, but they're actually, because they had the other side of the handle. Yeah. So I saw that image. I know it's in bubble wrap, and that image. And when I pulled the broken one out, I saw this, and I thought, okay, the Sylvester mug passed away in shipping. But they're matching. So I'm like, okay, well, if I was going to get in a mug set, a Looney Tunes mug set, and have one broken, this is the one for that to happen with, because they're both the same. You know what I mean? It's not like I got another one on the way with like 6 different mugs. And they're all different. If one of those breaks, well, I guess I don't get that Tweety bird, you know. So, yeah, if something was going to break, this was the one. And it did. But yeah, he had just that little bit of pocket where it could move around in shipping. Because I even, when I picked up the box, I felt it kind of, when you pick up a box and you can feel the things inside kind of move. I was like, this heavy little box, what is this? And I opened it up and I'm like, oh. You have made a critical error in your judgment. That's okay. Everybody played nice. We're good. I got him up. So, I got so much work to do. I'm stalling now. It's all good. Alright. Got an A-wing, got a frog, got a mug. That's like past day and a half. Got a lot of stuff on the way. So, let me get back to it. The chicken was good, by the way. Alright. Make it a great day.